Guys and gals, this is going to be a video on my Caribena, I believe is the pronunciation, versicolor. It was known as avicularia versicolor, but they changed it all up, as most of you guys know. But anyways, this is what it's been living in. You can see him sort of kind of, him or her, sort of kind of in there. And I picked this up at the reptile show probably about a month and a bit ago, but I didn't do anything with it. Reason being, I didn't have ventilation. I didn't want to use my soldering gun because I think the holes might have been a little bit big. Sorry, soldering iron. So I picked up a little Dremel and I just measured out some holes over a piece of masking tape, and you measure it out. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks somewhat symmetrical for this little guy or gal to go in. So reason being, why I use this enclosure is because I can open it from the bottom. You see these in the States and the UK. I have the hardest time finding them here in Canada, but I picked some up, or this one up from Tarantula, Canada, about a month and a half ago at the reptile show. But anyways, just to let you know what I did. I put the holes in it, vented it out. This is the front. I put a piece of bark in there, as you can see, so he or she can go back there and hang out. And I put a little piece of fake plant, and I put some moss in around where I used the hot glue gun to glue it in there, and I glued the top of that. You can put a little hole in there and screw it in if you want, but I just used the glue gun. So anyways, let's get to rehousing this little guy. I'm going to pause you so I can get the lids off. Okay guys, I'm back. I had to get my tripod because I do need two hands for this. Anyways, as you can see, this is the top and this is the bottom. Reason being, you can take this off. As we all know, avicularias, well, they used to be avicularias, but they like to web up the top here. So if I had this lid on the top, every time I took that lid off, I would destroy its web. So these are perfect for arboreal spiders that like to web up top. So I can take the bottom off, and I just turn it upside down and feed the tea from here or here, which is much easier than destroying their home. Okay, so here's this little guy or gal in here. It has grown. It's still small. It's probably 2 inches, but when I got it, we got a glare here, guys, but these little holes, I was almost concerned that it was going to get out of there. That's how tiny it was. It was like only like a second instar. Anyways, let's get it out of here. It just molted probably about a week and a half ago. It has fed for me since. And it's come out a couple times and it's walked on me and whatnot, but who knows after this molt. I'm just going to try and get it to come over the edge. Beautiful little spiders. I'm going to pause you guys. And here she is, just stunning little tea. When I got it with a little black dot. I've had like avicularia. Well, they used to be avicularias years ago. Common pink toe, I think, is the common name. I've never really had a problem with them, but since I started getting into teas years ago, or a few years back, or more heavily into teas, a lot of people are having problems keeping these little guys alive. And I've done my research and talked to a lot of other people as well, and I'm finding the key with these guys is cross ventilation. That's why I got so many holes in there. I got 30 on each side. So I haven't had a problem. I've had this little thing since it was, like I said, second instar, and it's been doing well. It's molted probably 12 or 13 times in my care, probably in the last 8 months, I guess. So, I truly believe cross ventilation's a big thing. They used to say, oh, they like a high humidity. Well, they do, but they don't like stagnant. Like, if you get a lot of humidity in there or dampen the substrate a lot, and there's no airflow, that's just going to get stagnant, and they're very sensitive to that. So if you're thinking about getting one of these guys, or if you already have one of these guys, just make sure you got lots of cross ventilation. And I spray down the bottom. You know, I wet it and then I let it dry out, and then I wet it again. I don't keep it wet. I let it totally dry out. But yeah, there's his new enclosure. There's his old enclosure, and I've had to wreck this web a few times just even to get in there. But yeah, tiny thing. This used to be a toothpick container, but same idea. I just flip it upside down, use this as the base, and the top there I take it off, and I'm not wrecking his or her web. So let's see if we can get him or her down there, and we'll get the lid on and see how it likes this new enclosure. Come on. Oh, you're a little defensive, little fella. Go on. Oh, sorry, guys. Now he's gonna go for a run. Down. I need to put your lid on. There we go. Going for the edge again. Sorry, guys. I can't see through the camera very well. I don't want to hurt him or her. Go on down. It doesn't look or doesn't feel familiar to him. If this was his old enclosure, it would just bolt and go into its web. But all right, guys. I'm gonna pause you guys because he's coming out, and get him back in, him or her. I'll be right back once we're in, and I'll give you a look at him or her inside of his enclosure instead of outside of it. Look at the little walk. They throw their feet up in there. It's so cute. I'll be right back. Alright guys, he or she gave me a total runaround. It took me probably about 4 minutes to get them in. They just want to keep going up, and when the enclosure, I have it upside down. Well, it's the bottom, but it's really, it's up, but it's the bottom, meaning it just wants to go up, and I couldn't get the base on. But anyways, there he or she is. Cute little guy or gal. I'm sure it'll be much happier in there once, you know, starts feeling a little more comfortable, and it'll probably make its way back here, as I said, and it'll probably web up here and feel quite secure back there. I have a fairly large water dish in there. This is just something I'm giving a try. I put a nice sized rock in there. Not that the tea's going to drown, but if there's a cricket in there or something, it'll be able to crawl out so it doesn't die in there and make the water all, excuse me, funky. That will help with humidity without me wetting down the substrate so much. So just something I'm going to try. And the tea will probably go down there and have a drink as well. So anyways, guys, that's a little transfer update video on my Caribena, I believe it is, versicolor. aka avicularia versicolor. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and you guys have a great day and a great night wherever you're at. Take care, guys. Bye bye.